Okay, almost got enough for the imitator, so I'll just let Stinky do his stuff. Did they return to normal speed? I think they returned to normal speed. Let's fix that right quick, shall we? I got 3 chocolate right here. 1, 2, 3. That's right, start making the money for me. So yeah, while this is going, we're gonna replant this. What's up everybody, StevDeS here, and welcome to another video game What If. But first, since I got this plant, is when I retooled the format to do a lot of what ifs, and I noticed the channel has been growing. Thank you all so much for the support, but I think it's time for our friend here who's been nibbled out by that stupid cat that keeps running into my room whenever I accidentally leave the door open. At least you're still growing. That one's relatively new. It's time for our friend here to get a brand new pot. Yeah, so I wanted to share a couple things. First thing you need to know, there's a cobweb on you. Let's get rid of that. The best thing to do is get a pot that is slightly bigger than your current pot, because you need the roots to grow a little bit more. And if you see right here, this will definitely fit. Yep, I can get quite a bit of potting soil in there too. So that is the first step for repotting. So I figured, since I'm doing a video on Plants vs. Zombies, I think it's about time for me to soil my plants. I'm being dead serious about that one.
Okay, so I had recently put the pot in that pot, and now I'm just going to put some soil nice and evenly around the outside. You don't want to just pile new soil on top. You want to kind of make a little nest for it so that when the plant gets back out, the roots can feel the new rich soil. Also, I'm doing this barehanded, I don't care. There's an invention called soap and water. So I'm just trying to get the soil to kind of pat a little bit evenly, so that when I lower the plant in here, it's good to go. And it's just a matter of scooping some soil and putting it around the sides of the pot in question. You can see I only have a little bit there, just kind of around the edge, and now it's all over the place because it's dry soil. So this is about the bottom of the pot that I want. So I'm going to very carefully and try to get the soil broken up a bit. I have to hit this one a little bit harder because this is actually kind of a hard plastic pot. So just trying to loosen the roots around the edges. Okay, and now for the moment of truth. Okay, the soil is definitely loose, the roots are loose, and she is loose. Very loose. Okay, so there we go, right around the roots. There we go. Look at that. Ah! Oh man, could have been good. But look at the roots. They're so far down, and you know what? I broke up some of that soil too. So that's also good. I probably should have taken the bad leaves out of there. That might be an issue. But I'm going to go ahead, put some of the old soil in there. There we go. That's about as evenly as I'm going to do it. And then the rest of the new soil, going to go around the sides. Now I want to be sure that the plant gets up to the top and that the roots have plenty of room to grow. So I'm going to nice and evenly do old soil with new. Ah, there we go. Not nice and evenly. Apparently not nice and evenly. Okay. So there we go. The old soil is in there, but I don't want to overdo it here. I'm hopefully doing this right. And then put some of the newer soil in there. And let's hopefully mix it up a bit. All right. There we go.
All right. So now that I've soiled my plant, I want you to tell me in the comments below, what kind of name should we give this little buddy? Because this guy's been around, or this girl's been around. I don't know. What name should we give this plant? Because it's been around ever since I retooled the format, and all of you have started joining and tuning into the channel and loving the content. So I want to do something special for this plant, give it a treat this trick-or-treat season, and give it a name. So in the comments below, I want you to comment, what should the plant's name be? I really don't know, but I know it's a money tree, so go ahead and Google that up. And that's it. Enjoy the video. You know, we're halfway through October, so maybe I should do something a little spooky. Are you scared yet? What's up everybody, StevDeS here. Plants vs. Zombies is one of those franchises that will never just die. Just die, okay? Your first outing was the best outing, and everything that came after it, everybody just wanted the moolah for. With Plants vs. Zombies 3 in development, boy howdy is it time to tackle one of the more classic games that showed up on mobile devices and are all over consoles nowadays. You have the DS port, you've got the computer port, again, like I said, the App Store. There's a lot of ways to play the first Plants vs. Zombies. Xbox, I think Switch too. It's a classic that just won't go away. And it's the one that people most fondly remember. Consider this video a suggestion of what I'd like to see in a tower defense game or a future tower defense game. Something with a little bit more story behind it rather than just placing towers. And understand the concepts from Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare or the Heroes app, which I might check that out. It actually looks pretty good. I'm not using that. I'm going with the source material, and this is the only game that I'm going to be using. Also, I'm probably going to get several comments mentioning the computer screen. I mentioned in the last video that my desktop is, it's at the Best Buy. You know, it's getting fixed. So, yeah, whatever picture Schmidt wants to put up there, that's what's going to happen. In PopCap's Plants vs. Zombies, you are given seed packets which grow into plants which kill zombies so that they don't have to eat your brains. This main mode is called Adventure, and wow, it's adventurous. Yeah. Defending the same location. I mean, going on an epic journey and traveling along the many different corridors and worlds and streets of Neighborville. Oh, what a grand adventure you went on with these plants. It's just you defending your lawn, and then defending it at night, and then defending your backyard, and then defending that at night, and then defending your roof, and then on the roof, Dr. Zomboss, I was about to call him Professor, decides to invade you at night. So yeah, there's really only 3 stages in the game, but because of the day-night cycle, you could say 6. Even though Dr. Zomboss is just, well, like in the name, boss battle. And honestly, from a critical perspective, that's one of Plants vs. Zombies' weaknesses. It's so focused on the main antagonist, the supporting character in Crazy Dave, and you, the player, who is intended to be the main character, the protagonist of the story. You're using these plants to defeat zombies and beat Zomboss, therefore saving your brains. But the thing about it, the plants have personality too. Given the explanations in the Suburban Almanac, I'd like to read you a couple just to show you what's going on. Here's just a few examples I've written down. Let's see. Fume shroom. This proud mushroom once worked at a bakery producing yeast spores for bread, and thanks to Puff Shroom talking to him, he now has a really good job blasting zombies with fumes and defending lawns. Hell, that turns out to be positive. And then there's the Gravebuster. Now, Gravebuster is a serious looking plant, and he wants everyone to know that he loves kittens and spends his free time at a zombie rehab center that focuses on stopping zombies from wanting to eat brains and be more productive members of society. That's a plant doing this. He's more than likely working with Hypnoshroom, who wants to bring the undead, quote, round to our way of thinking, unquote. So, there are different parallels you can draw, but even though you can draw parallels between the characters and what's going on in the world, you can also draw them to what characters have their own sort of identity as well. And Plantern's apparently some sort of warlock because while people use the sun power to make light in their homes. He just takes the dark with no energy going through it and makes light in the middle of the night. How does that work? Clearly nothing scientific there. But I definitely saved the best for last. Cob cannon. What can this oversized cob of corn that also launches into a missile possibly do that is influential in any way, shape, or form? Quote, went to Harvard. He practices law in a prestigious? Why is there two I's? He practices law in a prestigious New York firm, unquote. Clearly there's more to these plants than we see on the lawn. And seeing how the city of Naperville keeps going to hell and back because of Zomboss and his zombies, I think that a little bit more story would blend together nicely. So let's focus on the player for just a sec before we dive right in. He's not named, and all we know is he's a guy from the phrase that plays when you die. And, you know, the zombies eat your brains. So, for now, let's just call him Player.
Player dude, not cool, friendly fire is on!
Okay, let's just call him The Player. With that little tidbit out of the way, let's go ahead and get into what if Plants vs. Zombies had a story mode. Since the point of this is to explore the personalities of the plants, we're going to go before the player actually gets to the house where everything happens in the game. We're naturally talking about the first subset of plants that you get in the game, from Peashooter to Repeater. From Peashooter to Repeater. Yeah, that must be it. They end up casting a vote because they're plants that know how to defeat zombies, and the more humans that go missing, the more zombies there seem to be, and that's kind of a problem. But to save their own skins, a majority of those plants actually vote against humanity to save their own skins. The first plant that you get in the game, Peashooter, is one of the minority plants. He's one of those plants that voted to help the humans, but naturally, he was outvoted. He decides to go off on his own and find a nice tree to just root on and wait until morning. Maybe some humans will show up and they'll take back this once nice neighborhood in Naperville. I still can't believe that's what the city's called, all because of garden warfare. Seriously, what the? It's not until the next morning where he oversees an abandoned home that once had a beautiful lawn until the zombies came and it dried up or got rolled up into some of those rolls that are over there. And Peashooter doesn't have fingers, just leaves, and his roots wouldn't stretch to that. It was up to the humans to make sure their lawns were good for the plants. And so he just overlooks this once nice home before the zombies came. And then he sees something. The player. He sees the player grab one of the baseball bats. You know, since there's a tricycle, obviously there was a kid that was there at one point. And he fights off a few zombies. And luckily, he's okay. Peashooter sighs in relief. Thank goodness the human is okay. And then he looks down the lawn and sees a swarm of a few zombies heading towards the house. And the human is defenseless. He broke his bat on the last zombie. He's not gonna be doing well defenseless like that. One of the other plants comes up beside him and sees it. It's Imitator. And the old potato has a good amount of knowledge for the young strapping soldier.
This takes me back to the zombie wars. So many plants gave their lives for this soil.
There was a war?
Wars, boy. Wars. I'll tell you what, though. All we had was spoons. Spoons and morale. I remember the days on the battlefield, taking out zombies one at a time. Just trying our best to make it to the next day. tell you what, if we had pea shooters like you, boy, things might have turned out differently than the life we got now. Just saying.
Peashooter is weighing his options as the zombies are getting closer and closer to the home and closer to the defenseless human. He has to think, he needs to act now. And then he realizes there's a few rolls along the side of the house. And it looks like soil. Human! Roll out that mat! Naturally, the human doesn't know where this is coming from. But the rest of the plants do know where this is coming from. And they end up going to Peashooter and asking him what's going on. And Peashooter makes his rash decision. He goes to defend the human. As the player rolls out that single lane of lawn, the Peashooter goes into the ground and pops back up in the spot on his lawn. It's been a long time since he's been on a fresh lawn, and sure enough, he's ready to use it to defend this home. He shoots down the first zombie that comes and turns to the human, and the human turns back to him. This is where Peashooter pauses for a second, looks at the player, and then, in a very confident voice, well, shaky but confident, I got this. You might want to go inside. The player does so, and the game begins. And that is where this part ends. So what do you all think? Do you think that Crazy Dave might be different in a timeline where plants are apparently self-reliant? How do you think the story might take a creative turn if the plants are more involved with the creation of the story? What about Crazy Dave? Does he have any personal ties to these plants that apparently have their own colonies? Go ahead and comment below. For more what ifs in the realm of video gaming and Dragon Ball alike, such as... You know what? I'll be honest. I looked at one of my previous videos while I was writing this script and I had a good laugh. So if you haven't seen this video and you're 18 plus, because we do drink and we do curse and stuff, to be fair, it would be one of my videos that's immediately unmonetized. Go ahead and check that out. I had a great laugh because everybody was laughing, especially me. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. Alright, let's see how much... Stinky! Why are you asleep? Dang it, you're supposed to be making me money and the money disappears, dang it! Oh, well, you made me like 2,000. Still though, Stinky!